Hello friends, myself Parshuram Patel. I am faculty member in Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, IMT College of Engineering, Greater Noida. Today we will discuss the property of Laplace transform, and that is real translation, that is time shifting property. So today we will discuss real translation and time shifting property. So what is it? And we will prove this property after the statement. So here real translation, real translation or time shifting property. So here we have to study real translation and time shifting property, and statement is, so here we have to write the statement first. So if Laplace transform of xt, if Laplace transform of xt is equal to xs, then Laplace transform of x of t minus t naught ut minus t naught is equal to e to the power minus st naught xs, and we have to prove this statement. So proof. So here we are studying real translation, that is time shifting property, and if Laplace transform of xt is equal to xs, then Laplace transform of xt minus t naught ut minus t naught is equal to e to the power minus st naught xs. Okay. So here the given signal xt is time shifted, that is delayed by time t equal to t naught. So if a signal xt is given to us, then x of t minus t naught will be right shifted signal by the time t minus t naught. So here we have to find the Laplace transform of this signal. So Laplace transform of x of t minus t naught ut minus t naught is equal to, using the formula of Laplace transform, and that is 0 to infinity signal which is being transformed here, and that is x of t minus t naught u of t minus t naught and into e to the power minus st dt. So we have to solve this integration. Okay, now what we can do here, as we know that this signal is multiplied by u of t minus t naught, so we know that ut is the time step signal, time step unit step input, and we can define ut as 1. So ut is the unit step input for time t greater than or equal to 0, otherwise it is 0. That is for time t less than 0, it will be 0. Okay, so we will shift this signal by time t equal to t naught. So we will get u of t minus t naught, and this signal will be present from time t equal to t naught to 1. That is, this time is the t naught. Okay, so this signal is time shifted by time t equal to t naught, that is right shifted by time t equal to t naught. So we can define this ut minus t naught function as equal to 1 for time t greater than or equal to 0, and it will be 0 for time t less than 0. So this is the definition of unit step signal, that is ut minus t naught, which is equal to 1 for time t greater than or equal to 0. Sorry, time t greater than or equal to t naught. And before that, that is for time t less than t naught, this duration. So for time t less than t naught, it will be 0, and for time t greater than or equal to t naught, it will be 1. So we will use this definition in this integration. So what we can write here, we can write this statement as 0 minus 2 infinity x t minus t naught ut minus t naught would can be written as 1 into e to the power minus st dt. Now x of t minus t naught is multiplied by e to the power minus st here, and this signal ut minus t naught present after time t equal to t naught. So we can change here, we can write this that is the time t equal to t naught. So this signal is present for time t equal to t naught. Okay. So here it will be deleted. Again, I can write here. So we can write here this duration time t equal to t naught to infinity. And this integration is being done with respect to time t. So limit in this integration is in the variable time t, that is time t equal to t naught to infinity. Now we are integrating this integration. So here we have to transform the variable. So what we can do here, say t minus t naught is equal to u. We are transforming this term inside the bracket, that is t minus t naught equal to u. Now derivating both sides, we can say here dt is equal to du. Here t naught is a constant, that is the value of some time instant, and if t minus t naught equal to u, then we can write that t equal to u plus t naught and dt equal to du. Now, if we are transforming this variable t to u, then limit in time t will get changed. Okay. So what we can write here, if t minus t naught equal to u, if t minus t naught equal to u, then we have a lower limit and upper limit. Then at time t equal to t naught, at time t equal to t naught, that is at time t equal to t naught minus t naught will be 0, then u will be 0. So as we have transformed t minus t naught equal to u, so if t equal to t naught, then t naught minus t naught, it will be 0, so u will be 0. Now at time t equal to infinity, if time is the infinity, then infinity minus something, here t naught is a constant and infinity minus something will be infinity, so u will be infinity. Now we have transformed this variable t with time u. Okay. So what we can write here, after this we can say that, so we can write here, so in last step we have got, so in last step we have got xt, x of t minus t naught, which is transformed by u, so t minus t naught can be written as u, so it will be xu. Now e to the power minus st, so as we have transformed t minus t naught with u, so t can be written as u plus t naught, so e to the power minus st, and that t can be written as u plus t naught, and dt can be written as du. So we have transformed this integration in the variable u. Now what we can change here? We can change here the limit. Earlier it was the limit in variable t. Now we are integrating this integration with respect to u. So limit will be in u. So if t equal to t naught, then u will be 0. And if t equal to infinity, then u will be infinity. Now further we have to solve this integration. Okay. So what we can do here? We can say that here we are integrating this integration with respect to variable u. So other than u, like t equal to t naught, these things will be considered as a constant. So here t naught is a constant. Except u, everything is treated as a constant, and constant term will be outside this integration. So what we can write here, integration 0 to infinity xu and e to the power minus su into e to the power minus st naught du. So what we can write here, here we can say that as this integration is being done with respect to u, so this term e to the power minus st naught will be treated as a constant. It will be treated as a constant. So this term will be outside the integration. So what we can write here, e to the power minus st naught integration of xu e to the power minus su du, and this integration is being done from u equal to 0 to u equal to infinity. So as we know the basic definition of Laplace transform, and that definition is if a signal is xt, then we can find the Laplace transform of xt, which is equal to xs is equal to integration of 0 to infinity xt a to the power minus st dt. So we can write this way. So we can compare. This can be written as also. So if we replace this variable t, then we can write it this expression as 0 to infinity xu e to the power minus su du. Simply what we have done here, we have replaced this variable t with u. You can write this expression in terms of any variable. Suppose I am replacing here in this t as y. So it can be written as integration of 0 to infinity xy e to the power minus sy dy. So all these integrations are same. All these integrations are same. Okay, these all terms are same. So here simply we have replaced the variable t with u or with variable u. So what comparing this expression with definition of Laplace transform. So after comparing with definition of Laplace transform with definition of Laplace transform. So what we can write here e to the power minus st naught times xs. This is the simply Laplace transform of a signal xu. So it has been proved now. So what we have proved here, we have proved that if a signal xt is given to us and Laplace transform of that signal xt is xs, that is if Laplace transform of xt is equal to xs, then we can say that Laplace transform of x of t minus t naught, that this signal is shifted by time t equal to t naught, and this signal's Laplace transform will be e to the power minus st naught times xs, where xs is the Laplace transform of xt. So this is the time shifting property. It is also known as real translation property, because real term is indicating the variable time t and translation means shifting. So this property is also known as real translation property. Real translation property, or we can say that time shifting property. So we have proved this property here. Now we will have some applications of this property. So I will consider here some examples so that you can understand this concept very well. So let us considering some examples here. So one questions which we can consider here, and question is, so here we have to consider some questions, and that question is, if find the Laplace transform. Question is find the Laplace transform. Find the Laplace transform of the impulse train, of the impulse train shown in figure. Shown in figure. That is, we have to find the Laplace transform of the impulse train shown in figure. So here impulse train is given, that is t, and this signal is ft. For different time instant we have different impulses here. This time is 0, and suppose this value is k1, or we can say k naught. At time t equal to t1, that is this time t1, we have some value k1, and at time t equal to t2 we have some value k2, at time t equal to t3 we have some value k3, and so on. We can have any expression here. So example here we are trying to understand that an impulse signal is given here, and we have information at different time instant. At time t equal to 0, we have the value of impulse k naught. At time t equal to t naught t1, we have the value of impulse k1, and at time t equal to t2, we have the value of impulse k2, and at time t equal to t3, we have the value of impulse at k3. So first we have to define the impulse signal. Although many of you know that what is the impulse signal, but here I will explain the basic definition of impulse signal, that is unit impulse signal. Unit impulse signal, and it is being denoted as delta t. So unit impulse signal is denoted as delta t, and it is defined that delta t equal to 1 for time t equal to 0. Otherwise, it is 0 for time t not equal to 0. That is exactly at an instant, for momentarily, for abruptly, or for a moment, it is 1. And at all places except time t equal to 0, it will be 0. That is exactly at time t equal to 0, this function will have value 1, and before time t equal to 0, that is less than time t equal to 0, and after that time t equal to 0, that is t greater than 0, it will be 0. So this impulse signal is named as impulse. So it is present at a very short span of time, that is at an instant only, and that instant is time t equal to 0. So we will use the time shifting property of a mathematical signal, and we know that if a signal is xt, so x of t minus t naught will be right shifting, and x of t plus t naught will be left shifting signal. Okay, so here it is given as delta of t minus t naught. So if I am writing here delta of t minus t, delta of t minus t naught. So what will be definition of this signal? It will be 1 for time t equal to t naught. Otherwise, it will be 0. That is, for time t not equal to t naught, it will be 0. So this signal is shifted by time t naught towards the right, that is right shifted, and we can say that it is delayed by time t equal to t naught. So this is the right shifting in time. So it is right shifting in time, and by the time t equal to t naught. So right shifted by the time t equal to t naught. Similarly, we can say delta of t plus t naught, and value of this signal will be 1 for time t equal to minus t naught, and 0 otherwise. That is for time t not equal to minus t naught. And this is left shifting in time. Okay? This is earlier it was right shifting in time by time t naught, and this time signal left shifted by time t equal to t naught. So left side shifting by time t equal to t naught. So earlier delta of t minus t naught was delayed signal by the time t equal to t naught, and this one is delta of t plus t naught is left shifted by time t equal to t naught, and it is advanced signal. Okay, so here we can define graphically, and graphically we can say that this is the time t and this is signal delta t. So it has value 1 at time t equal to 0. So we can write here this value, and this value is 1. Or momentarily, that is at time t equal to 0. Just left of the 0 and just right of the 0, it will have 0 value. Similarly, we can draw delta of t minus t naught, delta of t minus t naught, and this signal is right shifted by time t equal to t naught. So what we can say, this will have value 1 at time t equal to t naught. After that it will have 0 value, and before that it will have 0 value. Similarly, we can define delta of t plus t naught. Okay, so here we can say that delta of t plus t naught. So we can define this signal delta of t plus t naught. Okay, so this is the delta of t plus t naught. Okay, so what we can do here, here we can define this signal as, So here we have to write delta of t plus t naught. So this signal is shifted by time t equal to t naught, and this is left shifting, that is advanced by time t equal to t naught. So this is the time t equal to minus t naught. Okay, and at this time it will have value 1. Before minus t naught and after time t equal to minus t naught, it will have 0. Here in all places I have considered time t naught greater than 0, that is positive. Here also t naught is greater than 0. Here also t naught is greater than 0. So here this signal delta of t minus t naught, we can say delayed by time t naught, and here we can say advanced by time t naught, advanced by time t equal to t naught. So these are some basic concepts of unit impulse signal. And here first from the given signal, we have been given a train of impulse signal. An impulse signal is very useful while we sample some signal. In sampling theorem, we can understand that this is a very basic and very important, very significant standard signal, that is mathematical signal. We can say this is a standard test signal, and this is a very fundamental signal, impulse signal, which can be used in communication technologies, in sampling, and at many other places. For discretization of a continuous time signal also, we can use this impulse train. So here how we can find the Laplace transform of this signal. So first we will define this signal. So we can say that mathematically this given impulse signal, that is ft, can be written as, first is the signal at time t equal to 0, and this signal has value k naught. So this signal is at time t equal to 0, so we can say delta t. Delta t is the signal which is having value 1 for time t equal to 0. So if we will multiply delta t by k naught, so k naught times 1, it will be k naught for time t equal to 0. Similarly, next signal present at time t equal to t1. So we will shift delta signal by time t equal to t1. So delta of t minus t1 is the unit impulse signal which is right shifted by time t equal to t1, and it has value k1 at that instant time t equal to t1. So it will be multiplied by k1. After that, a sample is present at instant time t equal to t2. So we can write here k2 times delta of t minus t2. In similar manner, we can write k3 times delta of t minus t3. So in this manner, we can write the mathematical expression of this signal. Suppose we have to find the Laplace transform of this signal. So taking Laplace transform both sides. So we can say taking Laplace transform of this signal both side. So after taking Laplace transform both side, we can say that ft, Laplace transform of ft, can be written as fs. So ft is a signal in time domain, so it is denoted as a small letter f. So in frequency domain, it will be capital F of s. Similarly, k naught as it is, and Laplace transform of delta t, which can be written as 1, as we know that Laplace transform delta t is the 1. Similarly, k1 times, and this signal is shifted by time t equal to t1. So as I have told you earlier, that we can use here time shifting property, which we have learned. Okay, so here we will use the time shifting property. So if a signal st is having Laplace transform xs, then x of t minus t naught will have Laplace transform of e to the power minus st naught xs. So here we can write k1 times e to the power minus st1, as this signal is shifted by time t equal to t1. Similarly, we can write k2 times e to the power minus st2 plus k3 times e to the power minus st3, and so on. So we can find the Laplace transform of this signal. We can write here that again I am explaining here that what, as we have learned the property, real translation property. Okay, so in this we can write, as we know that real translation property is that if Laplace transform of a signal xt is equal to xs, then Laplace transform of x of t minus t naught will be e to the power minus st naught xs. We can write this property, and this property is known as real translation or time shifting property. Real translation or time shifting property. So this is the real translation or time shifting property. And here what we have done, as we know that Laplace transform of delta t, Laplace transform of delta t, that is unit impulse signal, is equal to 1. So here xt is equal to delta t, that is signal which is being transformed, that is delta t, and Laplace transform of that signal equal to 1. So if xt equal to delta t, then xs is equal to 1. In a similar manner, similar manner, we can say that Laplace transform of delta of t minus t naught. So this signal is shifted by time t equal to t naught. So this signal is shifted by time t equal to t naught. So we can write here e to the power minus st naught times. So this signal, if delta t is the xt, so we can write here x of t minus t naught. So Laplace transform of x of t minus t naught will be e to the power minus st naught xs. So it will be e to the power minus st naught times xs is 1 here. So we can write e to the power minus st naught. Similarly, suppose we have to write delta of t minus t1. So Laplace transform this will be, this signal is shifted by time t equal to t1, so it can be written as e to the power minus st1, and Laplace transform of delta t is 1, so it can be written e to the power minus st. So we can use these properties. So earlier you can say that we were having signal delta t equal to, here impulse train, which is being given in this question, impulse train which is given in this question, and that is delta t equal to k naught times, sorry, this function is ft, and here we can write, so here we can write here, so here a signal ft is given as delta t plus delta of, here we can say delta t, and value of the impulse at time t equal to naught, it was k naught, so k naught times delta t plus k1 times delta of t minus t1 plus k2 of delta t minus t2 plus k3 delta of t minus t3. This function was given in this question. So taking Laplace transform of both sides, we can say here Laplace transform of ft equal to Laplace transform of k naught delta t plus Laplace transform of k1 times delta of t minus t1 plus Laplace transform of k2 times delta of t minus t2 plus Laplace transform of k3 delta of t minus t3. We have to find the Laplace transform of this signal. So here k naught is the constant, so it will come outside. So k naught times Laplace transform of delta t plus k1 times. So here we can say that k1 times Laplace transform of delta of t minus t1. Similarly, we can say plus k2 times Laplace transform of delta of t minus t2 plus k3 times Laplace transform of delta of t minus t3. So what we can say here? Here k naught and Laplace transform of delta t will be 1. Laplace transform delta of t minus t1. So it is shifted by time t equal to t1. So we can use this property here. So it will be e to the power minus st1, and Laplace transform delta t will be 1. So k naught plus k1 times e to the power minus st1 plus k2 times e to the power minus st2. Similarly, we can write every term here, each term here. So it will be k3 e to the power minus st3. So that will be plus, and so on we can write using this property. So first term is not shifted, second term is shifted by t1, and third term is shifted by t2, and fourth term is shifted by t3. So this shifting, after taking the Laplace transform will convert in the exponential term, and here it has been explained. We can have various other applications in communications, in sampling theorem, and many other places. So we can use the unit impulses as we have understood here. So that's all from today's class. Thank you all.